Rendering animations in 3ds Max is done very similarly to still image output. So let's take a look. Click on Render Setup in the main toolbar. In the Render Setup dialog, Common tab, Time Output group, we want to choose the active time segment. This is so that we will be rendering a series of images instead of just one still. You can also set a range of frames if you don't want to render all the frames that are in the active time segment. Then, we set our output size resolution by clicking the drop-down list. This is when we may decide to use the HDTV resolution, for example. We'll choose HDTV, and in this case, 1280 by 720 to render a 720p video format. Scroll down to Render Output and click the Files button. This brings us to the Render Output File dialog. Let's first type in a name. Let's type in testvideo.avi. And we'll select from the Save As file types the AVI format. Now, the AVI format is a great format for playing back. However, when you're rendering straight to an AVI format, if your computer crashes halfway through, or your computer shuts off halfway through rendering, when you restart 3ds Max, you have to start rendering from the very first frame of your animation. Rendering to a sequence of images can avoid this problem. But for this demonstration, we'll choose the AVI format. Now, when you click the Setup button, you can choose the codec that you would like to use from the compressor dropdown. Your list may vary from mine depending on what codecs you have installed on your computer and what version of Windows you're running. You can always add a new codec to your computer. Most of them offer a very simple installation process. These are just the ones that 3ds Max can see on my computer. Click Cancel. That will close the Setup dialog. And we'll click Cancel to close the Render Output File dialog. And since we're not going to be saving anything, we can close the Render dialog as well.